Hello, I'm William Michael of the Classical Liberal Arts Academy, and in this video I'd like to talk to parents who are considering coming into the Academy, who like in general what they read and what they see and hear in videos and things like that, and they're interested in giving their children the opportunity to study the classical Catholic curriculum, but they simply aren't sure how it works or where to begin and so on. I'd like to explain things in the simplest terms, walk you through some of the basic resources that you'll need to make use of, and just take away all of this anxiety and uncertainty, because it's all really very simple. Much of the confusion that parents feel when they come into the Academy or look at the Academy, much of that uncertainty and anxiety is actually caused by modern education. It has nothing to do with Catholic education, has nothing to do with homeschooling or anything like that, has nothing to do with your family or your children. It's that we've been forced to think of education in terms of this modern, secular, K-12 school program where all of our kids are sorted into different levels based on their birth date. And we've just become so accustomed to thinking like that we consider that to be normal, even though it's very, very unnatural and irrational, to be honest. And we know that. We know that children of different ages, their ability has nothing to do with their age necessarily. We know that if you have multiple children, those children are totally different. And so this modern K-12 student sorting system that was invented by men who were building assembly lines for cars, who thought that the same kind of efficiency would work with raising children, we don't have to deal with that stuff. We don't have to subject ourselves to all of the artificial problems that arise from modern education. And when we learn the alternative, we find that not only is it better, not only are the standards higher, but it's much simpler. It's much more affordable, much less expensive, because there's no need for some great army of grade-level, subject-specific faculty members. There's no need for big facilities and expensive books and all this kind of stuff. Classical Catholic education is very, very simple. It's reasonable. And once you can free yourself from this modern mindset about education and just stop thinking in those terms, you find that this is all very simple. And not only simple, but affordable and enjoyable. So let me explain some of these basics. To get started, let's just say a family's coming in, and I'm being contacted by a mother who's got 3 children, ages 4, 6, and 9. We'll just make up some numbers. And she's looking at the Academy, loves everything she reads about classical Catholic education, has watched a couple YouTube videos, likes what she's heard there, is eager to go forward with this, but just doesn't know where to start. Let me just show you how simple it is. And remember, all of the anxiety about, where do we begin? Are there placement tests? How do we choose courses? What grade level? All of that is modern school stuff. That has nothing to do with classical education. So get all of that stuff out of your head and just think fresh with me here. Sort of hit reset, start with a fresh sheet of paper, and let's just go into this simply as if the modern school system never existed, because it's unnecessary. So what I'd like to do is share my screen, and I'll just walk you through a couple steps to show you what you should be looking at, thinking about as you get started. So this is just the Academy main website at classicalliberalarts.com. And what I want to show you is when you first come to the Academy and you think, well, where should we begin? I'd like you to see that over here on the left menu, there's a link titled How to Select Courses. And I'd like you to go to the website and click on that link and go to this page where it explains how to select courses. Now, the classical Catholic curriculum has nothing to do with student ages or grade levels. Students begin with the first arts, the first subjects, and the arts and studies build on each other over time. So they have to start at the beginning. Some parents with older children get upset about that, thinking like, well, how am I going to have my son go back to... Well, look, the beginning courses, the courses that we refer to as beginning courses, are often more complex than courses that kids are studying in modern high schools. So it has nothing to do with a certain level of difficulty or age level. It's just got to do with getting started on this ascent in the pursuit of real education. And there are necessary studies, necessary arts and sciences that need to be learned to build and to ascend in this system of learning. So even though we say go back to the beginning, we're not saying go back and do baby work. We're going back just to the elementary arts and sciences, which are still more advanced than anything that most schools get into. So just don't worry about ages and grade levels and things like that. It really has nothing to do with making progress in classical Catholic studies. And also remember that progressing through these courses has nothing to do with years and years and years of grade levels. Students can move through these subjects as quickly as they're willing to work to move, and you're not stuck in this artificial school calendar that goes from September to June, less than 180 days a year, stops in June. The kids waste the whole summer with no studies. As a homeschool family, you can work year-round comfortably within your own family's schedule and routines, vacations, and so on. So, again, you just have to get the modern school stuff out of your head so you can think fresh about this. Now, even though that's all true, we understand that parents coming in, they still need some point of reference. And so what we've done on this page, how to select courses, is we've explained or we've provided recommended courses to get started for kids coming in at different ages. All right? So if you look at this list here, if you have a student who's 7 years old coming into the academy, we give a simple set of courses that are recommended to get started. If you have a 9-year-old coming in, you can see down here a different set of courses recommended to get started. However, when I say different, if you look at those two course lists, for the 9-year-old, let's say we have elementary grammar, Latin reading, modern arithmetic, Aesop's fables, Baltimore Catechism 1, daily scripture reading, and world chronology. For a 9-year-old. If we go back to the 7-year-old, let's take the younger, the age 6 to 7. We have English reading and handwriting, arithmetic 1, Aesop's fables, and Baltimore Catechism, two of the same courses. If you start the 7-year-old at the grade 2 level, we've got elementary grammar, Aesop's fables, Baltimore Catechism, three of the same courses that are recommended for the 9-year-old. So it really has nothing to do with the age. It's got to do with the subjects themselves and what comes first. All right? So these are recommended sets of courses that in most cases is where students should begin. And it's very easy for parents to look at this list, create an account in the study center, and add these courses. Very simple. What's really cool about this as a homeschooling parent, and let me just back up a little bit to talk about the complexity caused by modern schooling. If we were to take that same mother, and what did we say, ages 4, 6, and 9 were the three children? If we were to take that same mother and say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring the K-12 system home and homeschool within the K-12 system. That individual, I shouldn't say single mother, individual mother, she's going to be responsible for children who have to work in 3 different grade levels. They're going to have 3 different sets of books in different subjects for no reason. There's no reason why the kids are in different grade levels with different books when they're that close in age. There's no reason for that. And so the mother, the homeschooling mother, let's say there's 5 subjects in each grade level, even though I know that there are more usually. She's got 5 in, let's say, pre-K, 5 in first grade, and 5 in third grade. So she's going to cover 15 different subjects as a homeschooling mother, with 15 different books probably as a homeschooling mother. And you can just see how all of this complexity, not to mention the expense of that. All of this complexity is caused by her bringing this K-12 system into the home for no reason. The truth is, there are 5 subject areas, and with children who are young, they can work in the same subjects with the same books because they're all starting in the same place. There's no need for this complexity of grade levels and different books. You've got first grade math, second grade math, kindergarten. That's all artificial. They make those books for the K-12 school. Those books are not necessary. And so in our program, because we're not working with this forced, artificial, age-based grade level system, all of that complexity goes away. Things get very simple. So we present on this page here recommended courses for different ages just as a reference point for parents coming in. But you'll see that much of this crosses over. Much of these grade levels cross over. For example, let's look at grade 4 and 5. We see the kids are ages 9 to 10 in grade 4 in modern schools, ages 10 to 11 in 5th grade in modern schools. But look at the studies. Elementary grammar, same in both levels. Latin reading 1, same. Latin vocabulary, same. Modern arithmetic 2, same. Aesop's Fables, same. Baltimore Catechism. It's the same exact set of studies for 2 different grade levels because these kids, intellectually speaking, are at the same level. The grade level is artificial. That has nothing to do with any real development in the kids. And again, most parents don't know this, but the way that modern schools work, they'll introduce new things in 1st grade and review them in 2nd grade, introduce new things in 3rd grade and review them in 4th grade. So the grade levels really aren't even levels of different progress or information. It's just presented to parents in this overly simplified way that actually introduces endless complexity and difficulty. In homeschooling, you just can't do that. If you bring that grade level system into your homeschool, you as a mother, and I say mother because the mothers are usually the ones responsible for the day-to-day homeschool activity, but you're going to be trying to act like a 3rd grade teacher, a 4th grade teacher, and a kindergarten teacher in the same day with your children in your home, and there's no reason why you're doing that. Whereas what the kids need to learn is elementary grammar. They need to learn vocabulary. They need to study Aesop's Fables, study the Catechism. It's the same subject for all 3 kids. Why would there need to be all that complexity? In our program, all that complexity goes away. And as a homeschool mother, you focus on subjects, not grade level. You're focused on your children learning grammar, your children learning the Catechism, your children learning scripture, your children learning arithmetic. And they're going to work at their own pace, and they can move around at their own pace because our system keeps all their records, tracks all their progress, and if they start to move at different levels and things like that, they can all be working from the same book at different levels. And you don't have to worry about that as a homeschooling mother. You're not accountable to the K-12 grade level system. You're accountable to teach your children these subjects. And we simply, by separating from the modern system, eliminate all of that artificial K-12 goofiness that's not necessary. So you don't need to think in those terms. And if you come into the academy still trying to think in those terms, you're just imposing that confusion on yourself for no reason because it's much, much simpler than that. And so this is provided for you again. Let me just show you where this was. If you go back to the main website, over on this left menu, it says how to select courses. Click on that link, go to this page here. There's information about enrollment, which I'll talk about in a minute. But you have here this menu of all the different age and grade levels. And this is provided, again, just as a point of reference so that you can come in with that framework in mind, which you're comfortable with, and learn about the courses that we recommend for kids at those levels. And you'll see just how much simpler it is when you realize how many of the courses overlap between the kids. And as a homeschooling parent, you're just focused on one book that all 3 of your children are working through at their own pace. And that complexity goes away. But there's a transition step between coming from that modern system into classical Catholic education, and it just takes some time for you to realize that you're going to be free from all of that and not need to worry about that. And what's most surprising, I think, to parents is you think that the modern homeschool regulations, or maybe if there's a state representative or a county representative that you have to interact with, you think that they're going to be looking for all that modern grade level stuff, and they don't care. They're looking for subjects and making sure that you're getting through those subjects with the children. They don't even care how you teach those subjects. And so all of this pressure of grade level stuff, it's artificial, and you can learn to ignore it if you use a program that's actually intended for people who don't want to be in that K-12 system, and that's what we offer. Another important issue is accreditation. As a homeschooling parent, you have no need to worry about accreditation. Some homeschool programs that follow these K-12 models and really have no purpose outside of high school diplomas, they'll try to use accreditation as a marketing tool to make it seem like, as a homeschool parent, you can't just do this yourself. You have to have an accredited. That's completely false. There's no need for any accreditation in homeschooling. It doesn't even make any sense. If you want proof of this, if you search on our site, and maybe I should just do this for you to show you. If you search on our site, over here there's a search box here, and if you just search for accreditation, a couple of articles will come up. And you see this article here, Homeschool Accreditation is Not Necessary. There's another one titled Catholic Homeschools Do Not Need Accreditation. But this one here, Homeschool Accreditation is Not Necessary. What I did to prove this to parents, because I know they won't believe me, and I also did a video about it, but I contacted the college admissions boards and just asked them specifically, do homeschools need to be accredited for college admission? And they don't. And I included the responses of the different college admissions representatives that say they're not necessary. So from Catholic University of America, Princeton University, Duke University, MIT, I went through all these different schools that got back to me just to confirm and prove that homeschools do not need to be accredited. So don't let any of that talk distract or confuse you. It's just marketing gimmicks from homeschool programs that are trying to sell this K-12 program because it's great for book sales. It's great for book sales. And they're trying to promote it, and they're trying to make homeschool parents feel afraid that if they don't have this accredited program, their kids are not going into. My children are in college. We don't use any accredited homeschool programs. No one has ever asked us about accreditation in homeschool. It's just all marketing baloney. Ignore every bit of it. All right? So if you want to look at that article, like I said, just go on the website and search accreditation. So that's that. Now, how do you get started? Well, on that How to Select Courses page, as I said, it talks about enrollment. But what I'd like to show you to make it even simpler is click on the link at the top of the website and go to the Study Center. This is where all the courses are. This is where the kids will be doing their academic work. Everything you need is here on this one page. If you look at the website address, it's very simple, classicalliberalaarts.com/study. That's where everything is. Now, right here on the page is an overview of instructions for how to get enrolled and get started. Everything you need to know about our program is right there on that front page of the Study Center. It's just very simple. I can't express it enough that the complexity of modern education, once you come into classical Catholic studies in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy, all of that stuff is just over. You don't have to deal with all of the craziness. You can start anytime you want. All the kids can work at their own pace. Everything they do is recorded every day. You don't need to keep records. You don't need to grade anything. We provide everything in this system, and it's very, very simple. So don't come to our study center looking for all of this crazy modern, complexity. You're not going to find it. And it's not because you're missing something. It's not because you're not bright enough to understand. It's because it's just this simple. It's simple. So let's take a look here. The first thing it says is to create accounts. So right here on the study center, this is free. So you should do this for all of your children. Just click right here and create an account. It'll open up an account creation page. You enter in some information to create your children's accounts. Hit create account and do that for each of your children. So get an account made for every child. One thing that's worth noting that's important is, as a parent, you can use the same email address for multiple children, which most parents like to do. So the kids are not identified in our system by email address. They're identified by their username. You can see my daughter's information is here on the screen. But create accounts for each of your children. It doesn't cost you anything per account, so just create as many accounts as you need. You'll get an email that needs to be confirmed, and then you're ready to go. So create accounts. That's step one. Once you create the accounts, then just come back to this front page of the study center, and you'll see that in step 2 here, it explains the different enrollment options that are available to you. Okay? Now, the most common is the student plan. If you look down here, there's a student plan enrollment for $25 a month. That provides one student with access to everything. And no one believes us when we tell them that. But this is very affordable. That student plan provides access to all course materials that your children will need. So if you take that recommended course list and get that set up, if you create that student plan subscription, all of the course costs are covered. You don't need to, there's nothing else that you need to do. That student plan subscription for one student gets you access to all of those courses and any others that you want to add for a single monthly payment of $25. It's that simple. Now, if you have more kids, there's a cap on the cost, and you see the family plan down here sets a cap at $100 a month. So if you want to enroll 4 kids, 5 kids, even yourself, because parents are welcome to study, $100 a month, that's the cap for your family. So the family plan provides enrollment access for the whole family for a fixed monthly fee of $100 a month. There's no other costs necessary. These other higher plans, the premium plans, they offer other optional services like task planners that we manage for the kids, participation in live classes, and things like that. So those are optional, not necessary, and you can worry about that stuff later. You don't need to worry about that when you're getting started. What I recommend is choosing between the family plan and the student plan. If you've just got 1, 2, 3 kids to enroll, use the student plan. That's the cheapest. If you got 4 or more kids, or you want to add yourself in there, then use the family plan. That takes care of all of your costs of study. That's it. That one subscription provides for everything. You set that subscription up on the Academy website, and you're ready to go. Now, let's walk through that real quick. So let's say you want to create the student plan. If you just click on this, it takes you back to the main website. And here you just see it's the student plan subscription page. You'll just enter the student's name. Let's say Thomas Smith. So you're going to subscribe a student plan for Thomas Smith for $25 a month. You just hit subscribe, enter your payment information, and that's it. He's subscribed. Once he's subscribed, you just go back to the study center, sign into his account that you created for him before, and then to add a course, it's so simple. You just select the course that you want to enroll him in, and it will ask for an enrollment key, and you just type the word subscriber because you have a subscription. You type the word subscriber, and that adds the course, and he's ready to go. It's that simple. And you can do that for as many courses as you want. You can say, well, my son's slow. Well, then choose simpler courses. Get him started with just a few. Or you say, well, my 10-year-old daughter, she's a real whiz. She loves study. Add a couple more difficult classes for her. There's no additional cost for courses. So just use the enrollment key. Once you have a student plan or a family plan subscription, you just use the subscriber key to add or change courses anytime. So it's so simple. This is part of the problem. It's so simple that I think parents are often confused because they're looking for things that just aren't here because it's so simple. What I'll do here is I'm going to sign into my daughter's account just to give you a behind-the-scenes look. So I'm going to log in. You see, this is my daughter. She was born in 2014. She's 8 years old. So let's just sign into her account. So this is her student account. You can see her name up in the top corner, Anna Michael. You can see all her courses listed here on the left side of the page. So these are the courses that she's been enrolled in. And if we click on these courses, let's say Catholic Bible 1, we go to her course and you can see all of her progress is being tracked. So she's just getting started here. She completed lesson 1, took her lesson 1 quiz and passed that. She took lesson 2. She needs to just mark these tasks done manually. And so she's studying on lesson 3 right now. All of her progress is tracked and she just signs into her account and gets to work every day and works on her lessons. So she's got that course. Now, as I said, all of the courses are back on that home page. So if I go back there to the home page, all the courses are listed, and it's the same for all those courses. So if she's moving along, let's say Modern Arithmetic 1, same thing. Her progress is being tracked through those courses. You can see all the green bars, things she's completed. You can see there's a point system that the kids get a kick out of on the courses. They can see other students working. It keeps points for all of the kids as they work, so they can see other kids working and compete in a sense. That's all available on that course page. What's also available over here, if you go to their profile menu, if you go down to grades, all of the children's grades are available and always accessible to you. So you can see that all of my daughter's grades are listed here for these courses. The courses that have no grade, she hasn't started yet. So you can see she's got A's and an A minus in these courses. And if I click on one of these courses in the grade book, maybe not Latin reading, that's a little advanced. Let's stick with modern arithmetic. You can see all of the quizzes that she's taken and her grades in those courses. So she can see all of her grades and all of her activities. And if there's a grade that's low, let's say here she got a C on a lesson 9 quiz, she can raise that score. All she's got to do is click on that link. It opens up that quiz and she can reattempt that quiz and raise her grade. So the kids' grades are in their control. You as parents have access to all of their grades anytime you want them. And all of that is available to you. There's no need for report cards or progress reports because you have 24/7 access to all of their grades. There's no need for deadlines or worry about grades or anything like that because they can constantly improve their grades. And it's all in the kids' control. So they never need to worry about having a low grade or getting a bad score. They just retake that test, restudy, retake the test, raise that grade, and you can do that all day, every day. So what I hope you see in this is just that the problems and complexity of modern education are just eliminated. It's very simple. The database here controls all of the record keeping for us. We can provide reports for anyone who requests them at any time. This is a Moodle system. It's the same system many colleges and universities use. So any people who are interested in looking at the kids, they're going to recognize the system and be familiar with it. We just eliminate all the problems. It's just simple. One other thing, the dashboard is a summary of all the kids' classes and activities. You can see here on this dashboard there's an announcements section. All their courses are listed here on the dashboard. You can see that this is a list of students who are working online. Students are able to connect with other students as they work, and they can find classmates that are in the same courses they're in or the same age or whatever, and connect and message each other if they want to. All optional, but All of this is available to the kids in their study center account. The calendar shows days when the office may be closed. For example, when we get to the end of March, you can see March 31st, the winter term ends, the office closes for Easter break. They have access to the calendar, announcements, all of their course progress. Like I said, their grades are just a click away. All of this is provided and included with this simple subscription plan. Like I said, $25 a month provides all of this for a student. $100 a month provides all of this for every member of the family. So if you're coming in, like I said, if you're coming into the Classical Liberal Arts Academy and you're concerned about where to begin, it's just very simple. And I think that's actually a cause of confusion for many parents, is they're looking for stuff that they're used to in modern schools, and it's not here because it's just simple. So that's what I wanted to explain. I encourage you to just get going. Just get into it and get started, because it's really that simple. Start with the recommended courses on the main site, and I'll get back there for you. Just go to the main website at classicalliberalarts.com. Over on the left menu, how to select courses, and those are the lists of courses we recommend for getting started. I showed you how to set them up in the study center. You can do that whenever you're ready. The kids can start at any time of the year. They work at their own pace through the courses, and when they finish a course, you just add the next course and they keep going. All their records are kept. Everything is available 24 hours a day for you as a parent or for them as students. You can study year-round. Support is always available. We just eliminate the problems of modern schooling and make it ridiculously simple and easy. And the subjects themselves are not necessarily simple and easy, but the process itself, schooling itself, is made very, very simple, very, very affordable, and easy to manage for a homeschool parent. So the complexity may just be in your own mind, but if you're willing to come out of the modern K-12 system and learn a different way, a way that I would say is far superior, not only provide your kids with real classical Catholic education, but do so in a simple and affordable way, I just don't understand. I don't understand why more families do it, but I think that they assume it's going to be more complicated or more expensive, and they couldn't be more wrong. One last thing I'd like to show, if you're interested in learning more, and you may already know this, but we offer a free book for Catholic parents which explains the history and principles of classical Catholic education. You can download a free copy of this book right here on the website. I recommend you do that. Again, it's free. If you want to understand more about the curriculum, the classical Catholic curriculum, there's a page here. You see our curriculum. There's a video here you can ignore or watch, but then there's an overview of the whole curriculum. It explains how all the different courses fit into the curriculum, gives you a little introductory message about the history and principles of these different subjects. But you can have a bird's eye view of the whole curriculum there, and then see how the courses break down into grade levels on that how to select courses pages. There's just tons of information, but it's all very, very simple. So go ahead and get started. Don't delay and think you're missing something. Get started with the kids. Get their accounts set up subscription plans, because that's all that you need to get started. And let the kids get to work. You'll see the kids have no problem. And then once you get started, if you start to have some practical questions or want to ask some more detailed questions, then get in touch and we'll help you to settle in and get moving more efficiently. That's it as far as enrollment goes. If you need help on the website, right here, there's a chat box that you can click on and get into at any time. There's a library of Help Center articles which cover most common questions. But if you'd like to talk to someone, just click on that chat box in the corner, and we're here to help anytime. So everything you need is there. It's very simple. Just get started. You'll see everything's fine. God bless.